You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never...
Is this real life? I feel crazy. The world is spinning around me. What's happening? You have 4 eyes. I have 2 fingers.
For years, warning signs were quietly dismissed as background noise. Awkward moments brushed aside, unsettling clips repackaged as entertainment, and serious concerns buried beneath layers of denial. Now, with 50 Cent's recent documentary bringing the past back into sharp public focus, those once-ignored moments are being revisited with a new sense of urgency. What once felt like distant whispers now echoes loudly, demanding attention and deeper reflection. At the center of this renewed scrutiny is Sean Diddy Combs, a figure long tied to immense industry influence, alongside Justin Bieber, a young artist who stepped into that powerful world at an exceptionally early age. The conversation has clearly evolved beyond viral clips and online speculation. It now confronts deeper issues of power dynamics, prolonged silence, and the uncomfortable reality of how difficult truths can remain hidden when acknowledging them feels more risky, more complicated, or more costly than simply looking away.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come in LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come in LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, let me get the front shot of this.
Man.
Turn that out. Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15, you could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Now that, not yet.
No.
Alright, 16.
No,
16.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down, Justin.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when when you get 16. You good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Alright.
Then, when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay, I get the mansion. Yeah. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang out some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, kid.
Justin Bieber's rise was often framed as a flawless pop-era success story, but behind the spotlight, the reality was far more complex. As a teenager, he navigated an industry shaped by powerful adults, where visible safeguards were limited and boundaries often seemed unclear. Now, with archived interviews and resurfaced clips gaining renewed attention, conversations have intensified around moments where influence and access appeared to overshadow what should have been age-appropriate limits, all playing out in plain sight. For years, many of these situations were dismissed as just another part of celebrity culture, rather than examined as signs of a deeper, systemic issue. Today, the conversation has moved beyond any single clip or isolated moment. It points to a broader pattern, an industry environment where uncomfortable questions are often avoided or ignored. And when youth itself becomes a valuable commodity within that system, a difficult question lingers: who ultimately pays the price and who is truly held accountable?
You got people in the industry that's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody going to come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for him in their life. Kim Porter dead. Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, then have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and they're making a lot of...
For years, 50 Cent kept a deliberate distance from the inner circle surrounding Sean Diddy Combs, openly signaling his discomfort with the environment and choosing not to be part of it. At the time, his remarks were often dismissed as rivalry, jealousy, or simply attention-seeking noise. Now, as legal scrutiny intensifies and public perception begins to shift, those earlier statements are being revisited through a far more serious lens. This doesn't confirm every allegation, but it does reshape the context, highlighting how warnings can exist long before concrete proof is publicly recognized. Difficult truths are often the easiest to ignore, especially when they come from voices people are inclined to doubt. And it leaves behind a powerful, lingering question: how many early warning signs go unnoticed simply because the messenger challenges a narrative others are more comfortable? Sean Diddy Combs' influence extended far beyond the recording studio, reaching into the very spaces where careers could be accelerated or quietly held back. Justin Bieber's proximity to that environment reflected a broader industry pattern, where opportunity often flowed through powerful intermediaries and private networks rather than transparent, accountable systems. In that kind of landscape, success wasn't defined by talent alone. It was shaped by access, proximity, and influence. For young artists, This meant navigating intense pressures and complex dynamics they were rarely equipped to fully understand, let alone challenge.
You know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also.
Got me a Lamborghini. And
Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Well, apparently not.
Something, everything ain't fair.
Tape is white.
If he's bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. And somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber, allegedly. I don't know, bro.
Right. But when you heard the news that Diddy, he had to cheat with another man, did that catch you by surprise or no?
Well, all this shit is by surprise to me. A lot of this shit is by surprise to me, to be totally honest, man. Because I knew Puff. I knew Puff Daddy.
The deeper issue reaches far beyond whatever may have happened behind closed doors. It centers on why accountability begins to weaken in systems where success is tightly tied to proximity to power. When opportunity is driven by access rather than clear, transparent standards, boundaries can erode rapidly, and caution is often misinterpreted as weakness instead of protection. In environments like these, pressure isn't accidental. It's structural, built into hierarchies defined by influence and imbalance. The conversation, then, shifts away from isolated incidents and toward power itself. Who truly has the freedom to say no, and who ultimately faces the consequences when they try?
I knew Diddy before he was Love and Brother Love and back to Diddy. So, no, but the diddler, he's the diddler now. A lot of it's surprising, but it's not unheard of. Because you hear of all kinds of shit, and whether it registered with you or you internalize it or something like that, that's a whole nother story. But a lot of this stuff is crazy. But this is the world that we live in now, man. That these individuals thinks is all right. Bruh, when does it comes all right to be sitting there eating food off a naked woman? When did we start doing what they do? Let's keep it a buck. When did we start doing what they do? These guys is popping pills. These got Jay-Z dancing with
Long before Justin Bieber became a global phenomenon, Usher spoke about entering the orbit of Sean Diddy Combs as a teenager, later reflecting on the early exposure to adult pressures during a formative stage of his career. That history carries weight because it points to something larger than isolated claims. It suggests a recurring pattern rather than a passing rumor. When similar dynamics surface across different generations, coincidence starts to look more like continuity, hinting at a system where influence and authority are passed forward with little meaningful change. Awareness without reform becomes a failure in itself. And if those concerns were recognized once but left unresolved, it leads to a difficult, unavoidable question. Why was the system allowed to remain unchanged when another young artist, like Justin Bieber, stepped into that same environment?
Might make you change your mind. Look at Lil Nas X. He fizzled out fast, too. So would you say someone like Justin Bieber is a victim? I just seen he is reportedly selling his whole catalog because he's broke.
Yeah. Yeah. And once he finishes getting that money, I don't understand why he's broke. He didn't have to be broke. Usher just wouldn't stop robbing him.
Damn.
I mean, Usher couldn't keep his hands out of his pocket. It's funny. He got him signed and turned over custody to Diddy. And boy was never the same, and neither was Usher's pockets, because Usher's been living off of Justin Bieber's money. He ain't been living off of his own. Because the truth is, Usher don't really make that kind of money. And I'm really just kind of sick and tired of Usher Raymond.
Yeah,
I'm really kind of disgusted with Usher Raymond, who does Greek wrestling nude with men over Frosted Flakes, allegedly. Like, I'm sick and tired of this guy who everyone knows got the Diddy bumps, who's been sued for passing them on and lost, is still sitting there disgracing women in front of their men who bought the tickets to like that whole skis.
He's causing a lot of divorce courts.
But why? He don't even want them. He don't want them women. He's literally doing it just to destroy relationships.
As scrutiny surrounding Sean Diddy Combs intensified, many former associates appeared to retreat into silence, while 50 Cent grew increasingly vocal. His stance underscored what some see as an unspoken industry equation: challenge the dominant narrative and risk valuable relationships, or stay silent and protect them, until loyalty and self-interest begin to blur into one. This dynamic is often driven less by panic and more by careful calculation. In environments where honesty competes with career stability, survival tends to take precedence. And when silence becomes the safest option, one persistent, unsettling question remains: can true accountability ever take root in a system that seems designed to avoid it?
I watched a video of an interview of Justin Bieber, and he was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was broke, almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billy. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown girl with Drake. These people are monsters.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real thing. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
Jermaine Dupri said something interesting. He said the reason that R&B isn't as powerful as it is anymore is because children are going to church.
Yeah.
What is it about the transfer from the spiritual to the secular do you believe that's what made R&B so powerful?
Understand this. Rhythm and blues was a combination of gospel and soul music. Because soul music has always been around in one form or another. It's just evolved throughout the years. And you got gospel, rhythm and blues. That's what put that together. That's why they made such a big stink about the Ray Charles incorporating gospel sounds into secular music. Because they wanted people to separate the two. This is demon, this is good. The truth is none of that's real.
Right.
There is no bad, there is no good. There is what is and there is what is not. And that's sad. But when you take the spirit that comes from that.
Justin Bieber has never publicly accused Sean Diddy Combs of criminal wrongdoing. However, his later openness about anxiety, emotional exhaustion, and personal instability adds meaningful context to an already complex narrative. He has spoken candidly about being thrust into intense pressure at a young age, surrounded by powerful figures with competing interests, and expected to navigate global fame without the structure or support necessary to truly protect his mental well-being. That perspective doesn't offer simple answers, but it does challenge surface-level interpretations. It sheds light on the often overlooked cost of growing up too quickly within an industry where safeguarding a young artist wasn't always the top priority, and where success, visibility, and momentum could take precedence over long-term well-being.
That just testified against Diddy to the grand jury and had to give up 8 videotapes to the feds that contained celebrities in these freak-offs with Diddy is now listing some of the names that he saw on these tapes. And this man said that he got these tapes from a very close friend of Kim Porter's, and these were Kim Porter's tapes that she was going to use against Diddy. And some of the names that he says are some that we have heard rumored over the years. He said he saw Justin Bieber on this tape and he appeared to be underage during this time. He also saw Usher on these tapes and Usher definitely appeared to be underage. And this one gave me the chills because we've heard that Usher is the one that sent Justin Bieber to Diddy. Courtney Burgess sat down with the Too Strong channel here on YouTube and started naming some of the celebrities that he saw on these tapes.
Were kids involved in these parties that you can verify from looking at the tapes?
If Justin Bieber was older than he's supposed to have been, yes. If Usher was older, well, Usher was definitely young.
Okay.
You understand? It showed the part with his, the blood was all in his bed. You understand? It looked like they came home from a event, a party or something.
Went on to explain how Danny Boy was also in one of these videos with Mary J. Blige and Diddy together. And Danny Boy admitted when he was 15 that Mary J. Blige flew him out to New York and he slept with her while he was underage.
The purpose here isn't to deliver legal judgments. It's to recognize the human impact behind the headlines. Harm doesn't always arrive in the form of charges or clearly defined accusations. More often, it surfaces later, through prolonged stress, emotional strain, and wounds that were never given the space, or even the language, to heal. When pressure and exposure are built into the system itself, damage doesn't require a single dramatic moment. It can build quietly, layer by layer, over time. That reality demands deeper reflection. And if the failure is systemic rather than isolated, then one difficult question becomes impossible to ignore. Why do we wait for a specific allegation before acknowledging that something within the system may already be broken?
Mary J.
Danny Boy,
okay.
You know what Danny Boy is?
I heard that before. I don't, I've been so far away from hip hop, I forgot, but I have heard that name, Danny Boy.
Danny Boy back then, he looked like he was about 16. They both was about.
He also claimed that Jaden Smith, Will Smith's son, were in these videos, and he also said that there was photographs and videos of Diddy eating off of young girls.
Pictures or images of any of this stuff?
Yeah, I got Justin Bieber, Will Smith's son, whatever his name is. Other females on the table, they was young. He was eating off them. A lot of entertainments in there. I got calls from certain wanted to get the tape out of my hand. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
And I have said that if this man testified to the grand jury, the feds had to have some reason to bring him in to actually testify against Diddy. But y'all let me know what you guys think about this man naming all of the people on the Diddy tapes.
When Sean Diddy Combs' case entered federal court, the conversation shifted from speculation to formal scrutiny, grounded in filings, procedure, and evidence evaluated under legal standards. Those boundaries define what can responsibly be examined, even as they expose broader concerns the legal system isn't built to resolve. Courts assess conduct, not culture, and that distinction leaves deeper, systemic issues lingering beyond the courtroom. The implication is difficult to ignore. Legality and integrity don't always align, and procedural closure doesn't necessarily heal long-term harm. Even when a case reaches its conclusion on paper, a more profound question remains. Does accountability truly end with a verdict? Or is that only the moment when a larger reckoning begins?
Do you think he has a mole or an informant in his camp that's cooperating?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Listen, bro. Just doing law enforcement myself, just take for instance. I think the individual was a Syracuse former basketball player named Jason Barnes or Beard or something like that. He already had drug charges against him. The day Diddy house get raided, they catch him getting on a plane and they put him into custody. Didn't that sound a little weird? People didn't catch that. They either put him in custody for a couple of reasons. You understand? One, to make a witness out of him, or to safeguard him and protect him for anything that could happen to him, because they had already stated, allegedly, that he was some kind of mule for the people over there at Diddy's house. So now, with that information, that he was already known by the government for drug charges, wouldn't that be an individual that you use? I'm gonna give you something different. And I'm gonna give you something else that people don't even think. On the other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up and he started tapping him as if he was searching him and see if he had some kind of device on. Did you see that?
Yep.
Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber? And Diddy did that on tape. That means in his mind, he think this person may be a witness, right?
The intersection of 50 Cent, Sean Diddy Combs, and Justin Bieber illuminates a broader truth within celebrity-driven ecosystems, where influence concentrates at the top, vulnerability often settles at the bottom, and accountability is frequently delayed or uneven. In these environments, youth can be framed as authenticity, proximity to powerful figures presented as mentorship, and silence interpreted as professionalism. Over time, such dynamics risk normalizing imbalances that would otherwise raise serious concern. Seen through this lens, the story shifts from individual personalities to recurring patterns across the industry. When similar conditions continue producing similar outcomes, the focus naturally moves away from isolated moments and toward the system itself. And that brings us to a question that reverberates through every discussion of fame and power. At what point does the surrounding structure, rather than any single figure, become the true focus of scrutiny?